This training video will cover the use of the Performance Evaluation module within the iSite Contract Management Portal. You'll find the Performance Evaluation Management tools by navigating to Contract Management, Performance Evaluation. You'll need access to one of the following permissions in order to have access to the Performance Evaluation functionality: Performance Evaluation Administrator, Manage Performance Evaluations, and View Performance Evaluations. The summary page will display the currently active survey, if any, with a quick link directly to the survey itself. You'll also see a dashboard that indicates the overall progress of the survey, as well as metrics for the number of responses needed versus the number of responses remaining to be completed. Beneath the current survey panel is a link to view all surveys. Next, if the user is assigned surveys to respond to for the current survey, that information will be displayed in the My Current Survey Progress panel. A link to the inbox will be displayed, as well as a dashboard that indicates overall progress on the current survey for the current user. Finally, the next scheduled survey will be displayed, if one is defined, with a quick link to the survey itself. Let's view the list of surveys. This is the entire list of surveys as defined by administrators in the survey schedule. You can view this list grouped by survey, as you see here, or grouped by task using the buttons in the toolbar. When grouping by task, you'll only see the surveys that have already begun for each task. When grouping by survey, you'll see all defined surveys. You can use the search function on the toolbar to filter the survey list by title, if grouped by survey, or filter by task code if grouped by task. To view a survey, click on the survey title in the list. This is the survey viewer. In the survey viewer, you'll see a list of all defined responses for the selected survey, including the task, responder name, and status. If you have the Performance Evaluation Administrator permission, you will have toolbar options to unlock responses and re-notify responders. The Unlock Responses option is useful if a user has already submitted a survey, but you want to allow them to make modifications. To unlock responses, click the checkboxes next to the survey responses that you want to unlock. Then, click the Unlock Responses button. Only responses that have been completed will be available for unlocking. The Re-Notify Responders option allows you to send emails to any of the responders on the survey who have not yet completed their survey. This is in addition to the 48-hour and 24-hour automated reminders, if configured. To return to the survey list, click the View Survey List button. You can filter the survey response list by responder by entering the responder name in the search box. You can also filter the survey response list by status by selecting one or more status codes in the status list. Now let's look at a survey response. The survey response viewer will display a read-only listing of all of the questions for the survey, as well as any responses and comments that were entered by the respondent. If you are the respondent for the survey and the survey has not yet been completed, a Respond to this survey button will be visible, which will take the user directly to the inbox to be able to respond to the survey. Additionally, if you are the respondent for the survey and have already completed the survey, a Revise this survey response button will be visible to allow you to make changes to the survey, assuming that the survey period is still open. You may download a PDF copy of the survey response by clicking the Print button. Clicking the View this survey button will bring you back to the list of responses for the survey you are viewing. Lastly, clicking the View Survey List button will bring you back to the list of surveys. Now, let's talk about Performance Evaluation Notes. You'll find the Performance Evaluation Notes tools by navigating to Task Management, Task List, and then selecting any task you have access to. From there, click on the Performance Evaluation tab. The Performance Evaluation tab will show you any surveys that have been created for this task, as well as any performance notes that have been entered. On the Surveys tab, if you have the Task Administrator or Performance Evaluation Administrator permission, you may delete survey responses by clicking the checkboxes next to the survey response that you want to delete and clicking the Delete Survey Responses button. Otherwise, the button and checkboxes will not be available to you. To view a survey response, simply click on the survey link. If you are the respondent for the survey and the survey has not yet been completed, a Respond to the Survey button will be visible, which will take the user directly to the inbox to be able to respond to the survey. If you are the respondent for the survey and have already completed the survey, a Revise this survey response button will be visible to allow you to make changes to the survey, assuming again that the survey period is still open. As for before, if you click the Print button, a PDF copy of the survey response will be generated. Lastly, clicking the View Survey List button will bring you back to the list of survey responses. The Performance Notes tab allows you to store notes about a task during performance. Each note can also have replies. When notes are entered, they are time-stamped. This allows you to use the built-in filter to display notes that are relevant to a specific survey's period of performance. To view all of the performance notes, select the All Topics option from the filter. You must have the Task Administrator, Performance Evaluation Administrator, or Manage Performance Evaluations permission to be able to add topics or replies. Finally, let's talk about Performance Evaluation responses. All Performance Evaluation survey responses are managed from the user inbox. These surveys will be found in the Performance Evaluations item in the inbox list. When viewing the survey, you are presented with 3 tabs: Question, Previous Responses, and Performance Notes. Please note that the Previous Responses tab will only be visible if that option is enabled in the module settings for performance evaluation. The Question tab will display the question to be answered, the criteria for response, if any, and the response option. If comments have been enabled for the question, an area to enter comments will also be visible. Comments may be required for certain questions. If you'd like to view question responses from previous surveys, click on the Previous Responses tab. If there are any previous responses available, there will be a numerical indicator in the tab. In the display, you'll see the survey and the period of performance that the response was for, along with the response itself. If you'd like to view performance notes that were entered during the period of performance being measured for the survey you are responding to, click on the Performance Notes tab. If there are any performance notes available, there will be a numerical indicator in the tab. Please note that you cannot enter new notes here. This is just for your reference to help you with completing the survey. To answer a question, click on the Question tab and interact with the Response section. This may be a text box, or a list of radio buttons, or a drop-down menu. In this instance, we are presented with a list of radio buttons. If commenting is enabled for this question, feel free to enter a comment. When finished with a question, simply click the Next Question button in the toolbar or beneath the survey response display. When doing so, your response and comments will automatically be saved. You can move backwards and forwards through the questions using the toolbar buttons or the buttons beneath the survey response display. When all of the questions have been answered to your satisfaction, click the Submit Survey Response button in the toolbar. Once the survey has been submitted, it will no longer appear in your inbox. Questions, suggestions, thoughts, or concerns? Email us at feedback@isitellc.com.